Welcome. Today, we explore the value of these top coins, most valuable bad condition, USA Abraham Lincoln steel penny and wheat pennies that could be worth huge money. Let's get started. First up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark. This coin holds historical significance, and in good condition, it can be worth a lot more than you might think. Stay tuned to discover just how much this wartime relic could fetch in today's market. Let's start with the basics. In 1943, due to a copper shortage caused by World War II, the US Mint began striking pennies out of steel instead of the usual copper. This created the iconic 1943 Lincoln steel penny. The coin is lightweight, magnetic, and instantly recognizable by its steel gray color. The 1943 Lincoln penny features the familiar design with Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 ears of wheat on the reverse. But the key factor here is that these pennies were produced with steel, a temporary change that lasted for just 1 year. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. There are 3 possible mint marks on the 1943 steel pennies: D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and no mint mark for Philadelphia. Coins without a mint mark, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, are often considered the most common of the 1943 steel pennies, but that doesn't mean they're without value, especially if they're in good condition. The 1943 without mint mark version is actually quite popular among collectors. While the mint mark variety does have an impact on value, even the Philadelphia version can be worth much more than its face value if it's in good condition. So, what exactly do we mean by good condition? When we talk about coins in good condition, we're looking for pieces that show clear detail but may have some wear from circulation. In the case of the 1943 steel penny, a good condition coin will still feature a well-defined Lincoln portrait, readable inscriptions, and visible wheat stalks on the reverse, although they might show some signs of wear and light tarnish. A good condition 1943 steel penny typically has more surface wear compared to higher-grade coins, but still holds significant collector value, especially due to its historical importance. And now let's get to the fun part. What's this coin worth in today's market? The 1943 Lincoln steel penny, without a mint mark, in good condition, typically ranges in value from $5 to $15, depending on its overall appearance, rarity, and demand at the time. Though this is a relatively low value for a coin that's more than 80 years old, the price can increase depending on the quality. If your coin has minimal wear and is in better than average condition for its age, it could fetch up to $25 or even higher. Coins that are well preserved or have a unique history behind them can sometimes break the bank. Some 1943 steel pennies without mint marks, even in good condition, can sell for $50 or more at auction, depending on the collector interest at that time. So if you're lucky enough to own one in especially good shape, you might find it's worth a lot more than the standard range. So if you're looking to start or add to your collection, the 1943 steel penny without a mint mark is an excellent piece to have. It represents a pivotal moment in American history, and its price can climb if the right collector sets their sights on. Whether you're finding one in circulation, hunting for it at a coin shop, or browsing an auction, it's a great coin to keep an eye on. Remember, a coin's value can vary based on its condition, market demand, and the quality of the piece itself, so be sure to assess the details carefully when evaluating your... Well, that's it for today's deep dive into the 1943 Lincoln steel penny without a mint mark, in good condition. It's an affordable yet collectible piece of US history that can still fetch a decent price. If you're a coin collector or just starting out, make sure to keep your eyes peeled for this iconic coin. Next up, the 1943 Abraham Lincoln steel penny with a large date and D mint mark. Even when found in dirty conditions, stay tuned to find out just how much this unique coin could be worth in today's market. Let's start with a little background. The 1943 Lincoln penny is special because it was made of steel instead of the usual copper. Why? Due to copper shortages during World War II, the US Mint switched to using steel for this particular year's pennies. As a result, the 1943 Lincoln steel penny became a symbol of wartime ingenuity. The 1943 Lincoln penny features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two wheat stalks on the reverse, just like other wheat pennies. But it's the steel composition and large date that set it apart from other years. Now, let's talk about the mint marks. The D mint mark on this penny means it was struck at the Denver Mint. The large date variety, which is typically more prominent than the small date, is another important factor when determining the value of this coin. So, what if the coin is in dirty condition? In the world of coin collecting, dirty doesn't necessarily mean a coin is worthless. While dirt, corrosion, or grime can impact the coin's appeal, it doesn't automatically destroy its value, especially if it's a rare piece. Coins in dirty condition can still hold significant value because of their rarity, like our 1943 steel penny with the large date and D mint mark. Cleaning them, however, is usually not recommended, as it can further damage the coin's surface and decrease its market value. Now, let's get into the value of this coin. A 1943 Lincoln steel penny in dirty condition with D mint mark can still fetch a respectable price in today's market, especially if the dirt or corrosion is relatively minimal. In general, you can expect a 1943 steel penny in dirty condition to be worth anywhere from $5 to $20, depending on how bad the dirt is and how much of the design is still visible. But the rarity of the coin and its mint mark can boost that price. For example, a coin in more substantial damage or with heavy corrosion may sell for a bit less, but if the coin is in better shape, like showing clear detail, even with some dirt it could sell for $50 or more. While a dirty coin might not fetch a premium price, some collectors will still pay top dollar for a 1943 steel penny with D mint mark, especially if it's an uncirculated or well-preserved piece. In fact, a 1943 Lincoln steel penny with D mint mark in mint state or near mint condition could be worth $100 or more. Coins with cleaner surfaces, fewer blemishes, and a well-defined large date have even more potential, so it's worth considering all factors before you let go of one of these wartime treasures. So whether you find a dirty 1943 Lincoln steel penny with D mint mark in your collection or decide to purchase one, it's clear that these coins can still hold great value. And if you're lucky enough to have one in near mint or mint condition, you could be holding onto a real treasure. Next up, the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny, featuring a large date and an ES mint mark. You might be surprised by what this coin is worth in today's auction market, so stick around as we break down the value of this unique penny. The 1950 Lincoln wheat penny is part of the iconic series, minted from 1909 to 1958. The obverse shows President Abraham Lincoln's portrait, while the reverse features the two wheat stalks symbolizing prosperity. What makes this particular penny stand out is its large date and S mint mark, indicating it was struck at the San Francisco Mint. In 1950, over 350 million pennies were minted at the San Francisco Mint, and while this number may seem high, a 1950 S Lincoln wheat penny is still a key piece for collectors. Now, let's talk about what it means for this penny to be in fine condition. In coin grading, a fine condition coin shows clear and well-defined details but will have noticeable wear. For the 1950 Lincoln wheat penny, this means Lincoln's portrait is still visible, though a little worn, and the lettering on the reverse side, like the E pluribus unums and 1 cent, is still legible, but the wheat stalks may show some flattening. A fine condition coin like this one retains a lot of charm, making it a popular choice for collectors who want a piece with historical significance without paying for top-tier, uncirculated examples. So, how much is a 1950 Lincoln wheat penny with a large date and an S mint mark in fine condition worth in today's market? Based on recent auction results and sales, this penny typically sells for around $1 to $3 in fine condition. However, if the coin is particularly well preserved or has an attractive eye appeal, it can fetch even more. For example, some auction results have seen these coins sell for upwards of $5 to $10, especially if they're graded by a reputable grading service like PCGs or. So, what influences the value of the 1950 S Lincoln wheat penny? As with most coins, condition is a key factor. The finer the details and the better the preservation, the higher the value. Coins with strong strikes, clear mint marks, and visible dates often perform better at all. Another important factor is market demand. Some collectors might be looking for specific years or mint marks to complete a set. The 1950s is a key date for those working on assembling a full set of Lincoln Wheat pennies. Why is the 1950s Lincoln Wheat penny worth collecting? Besides being part of one of the most iconic coin series in US history, the 1950s has a special place in the post-war economic period. It was minted during a time of economic recovery, and the design represents an era of optimism and growth. Whether you're a beginner collector or a seasoned expert, the 1950s Lincoln Wheat penny is an affordable and valuable coin that adds historical depth to any collection. Want to add a 1950s Lincoln Wheat penny to your collection? Keep these tips in mind. First, always check the coin's condition. The clearer the details, the better its value. Next, consider getting the coin professionally graded if it has a nice strike and appealing look. This can help ensure you get the best price in an auction setting. And remember, while the 1950s may not be the rarest penny out there, its charm and historical significance make it a must-have for many collectors. So there you have it, the 1950 Lincoln Wheat penny with a large date and an S mint mark in fine condition. With a value in the $1,500 range on average, it's a great coin to have in your collection. Next up, the 1940 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition. This coin is a staple for collectors and will uncover just how much it's worth in today's auction market. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny is part of the classic Wheat penny series minted from 1909 to 1958. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's iconic portrait, while the reverse shows the signature wheat ears design. What makes this coin unique is its absence of a mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1940, over 586 million Lincoln Wheat pennies were minted in Philadelphia. While that may seem like a lot, finding one in very fine condition is less common and more valuable. So, what does it mean for a 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny to be in very fine condition? Coins in very fine condition show moderate wear, but the key details are still sharp, and for this penny, Lincoln's facial features will be visible, and the lettering, such as Liberty and the date, will be well defined. On the reverse, the wheat stalks will still retain some detail, though the highest points might be slightly flattened. Now let's talk value. In today's auction market, a 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition typically sells for $2.50 to $3. While this may not sound like a fortune, it's a solid return for a coin that was originally worth just 1 cent. In some cases, if the coin has exceptional eye appeal or is part of a collection, it might fetch prices as high as $6 to $8 at auction. Grading and presentation can make a big difference in value. Several factors influence the value of the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny. Condition is the most critical. Coins with less wear command higher prices. The eye appeal is another factor. A well-preserved, evenly toned coin is more attractive. Lastly, the market demand plays a role. The 1940 penny is popular among those completing a year-by-year set of wheat pennies. Why should you collect the 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny? This coin represents an era of transition and resilience in US history, just before World War II. It's a tangible piece of America's economic and cultural story. Plus, with its affordable price, it's a perfect entry point for new collectors or a nostalgic addition for seasoned ones thinking of adding a 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny to your collection. Here are some tips. Look for coins with well-preserved details and minimal discoloration. If possible, purchase coins that have been professionally graded to ensure authenticity and don't forget to store your coins properly to preserve their value over time. While the 1940 penny may not break the bank, it's a valuable and historical piece that every collector should consider. Oh, there you have it. The 1940 Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark in very fine condition. With a value ranging from $9.50 to $1,000, it's a coin that holds both historical and collector appeal. if you enjoyed this video. Next up, the 1927 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark in good condition. We'll explore its value in today's auction market and dive into why this coin might just be a hidden treasure in your collection. Let's get started. The 1927 Lincoln Wheat Penny is part of the popular Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. The coin features Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and 2 wheat ears on the reverse, symbolizing America's agricultural strength. This particular coin was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark found on the reverse just below the date. Over 74 million of these coins were produced in 1927, but with wear and time, the number of good condition coins is limited, making them more valuable to collectors. So what exactly is good condition? A coin in good condition shows clear signs of wear, but it's still easily recognizable. In the case of the 1927 Wheat Penny, you'll still be able to read the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions, though the details may be softened or worn. Lincoln's portrait will show significant wear, but the general shape will still be visible. This is one of the more affordable grades for collectors, but it still carries historical value, and as you'll see, that means it can fetch a good price in the right market now. Let's talk about the value. A 1927 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark in good condition typically sells for $2.50 to $4 in today's auction market. This may seem like a modest price, but it's important to remember that the value of a coin depends on condition, rarity, and in some cases, depending on the eye appeal and demand at auction, it's possible to see these coins sell for slightly higher prices up to $6 to $8. The condition, how well it's preserved, and the auction competition can drive those prices. There are a few key factors that influence the value of a 1927 Lincoln Wheat Penny in good condition. First, we have the mint mark. The D mint mark indicates it was struck in Denver, which can make the coin more desirable to collectors who focus on mint varieties. The second factor is condition. Coins in good condition may not be the rarest or most pristine, but they're still valued for their history and age. Lastly, market trends also play a role. Demand for wheat pennies in the past few years has been strong, as collectors continue to focus on the history of the coin. Why should you collect the 1927 Lincoln Wheat Penny with D mint mark? The 1927 coin represents a time when the U.S. economy was experiencing growth and transformation in the post-World War I. For collectors, this penny offers a unique glimpse into American history, especially when combined with the wheat design that commemorates the nation's agricultural past. Thinking about adding this coin to your collection? Here are a few tips. Always check for the mint mark and ensure the coin is authentic. A well-preserved example of this penny can add up to $4 to your collection, but don't forget to check for any signs of damage or discoloration that could decrease its value. And remember, coins like these are great investments over time if stored properly in protective cases. Next up, the 1954 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Penny with the S mint mark, graded in very fine condition. Just how much is this vintage coin worth in today's auction market? Let's find out. First, let's talk about the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny and why it's a great piece to have in any collection. Struck in 1954, this penny is part of the iconic Lincoln Wheat series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. The 1954 version has some distinctive features. The SA mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in San Francisco. During this year, the U.S. Mint produced approximately 204 million Lincoln Wheat Pennies, but relatively fewer of them came from San Francisco, making them a little rarer compared to the ones minted in Philadelphia. Now, you might be wondering, what exactly does very fine condition mean for a coin? A coin in very fine condition shows moderate wear, but the design is still sharp and easily recognizable. You'll still see clear details, especially on Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks on the reverse, with only slight wear on the high points of the coin. For the 1954 penny, the S mint mark, the wheat stalks, and Lincoln's features should all be clear, with just a bit of wear that's typical for a coin that's been circulated for decades. Now let's get into the exciting part, the value of the 1954 Lincoln Wheat Penny with the S mint mark in very fine condition. In today's auction market, you can typically expect to pay anywhere from $700 for a coin in this condition, depending on factors like luster and eye. However, there's a chance to see higher prices if the coin is particularly well preserved or has been certified by a reputable grading service like PCGs. Or certified coins with excellent eye appeal and no significant blemishes can reach upwards of $900 in some cases, particularly when sold in competitive coin. So, what factors affect the value of the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny with the S mint mark? First, the overall quality of the coin plays a huge role. Coins that are better preserved, with minimal wear and no significant marks, are always in higher demand. Additionally, the coin's certification matters. Coins graded by professional services like PCG or NGC are more likely to fetch a higher price. For example, a well-graded, certified 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny in very fine condition can fetch significantly more than a non-certified one. Also, the auction setting plays a role. In high-end auctions, where collectors are bidding for rare and high-quality coins, the price can sometimes go above expectations, especially if there's high demand for coins from the 1950s. So, why do collectors seek out the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny, particularly one with the S mint mark? The answer lies in both rarity and the appeal of the series as a whole. The Lincoln Wheat pennies are some of the most iconic and beloved coins in U.S. history, and having one from 1954 with the S mint mark adds to the uniqueness of it. Though it may not be the rarest of the wheat pennies, the 1954 S mint mark still stands out as an important piece, especially for collectors focused on mint mark varieties. Plus, it's a great coin to own if you're trying to build a set of Lincoln Wheat pennies from the 1950s. Collecting Lincoln Wheat pennies is not only fun, but also an excellent way to invest in U.S. history. The 1954 S mint mark penny is an affordable entry point into this classic series. As the years go by, these coins may become harder to find in good condition, especially in very fine. For collectors and investors alike, getting your hands on a coin in very fine condition is a great way to ensure you're getting a piece of numismatic history that's likely to hold or even increase in value. In conclusion, the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny with the S mint mark in very fine condition is a valuable coin that combines historical significance with the appeal of the Lincoln series. Whether you're just starting your collection or looking to add a key piece to your set, this penny is definitely worth considering. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below with your thoughts on the 1954 Lincoln Wheat penny or any other coins you're adding to your collection. We'll see you next time with more coin tips and insights